Welcome, everybody. While we're waiting on everyone else to get on, we would like you to put your name, your site, and your title in the chat room. We will start here in about 2 minutes. Again, if you're just getting on, please put your name, your site location, and your title in the chat room for us. Thank you. We'll start here in just a minute. All right. Well, thanks for joining us today. First and foremost, we want to say congratulations to all of you on joining Cohort 17 and the application you submitted. It was a very, very tough process, and we had a lot of applicants. So congratulations to you. We do want to remind you that our office does not score these. We have professional, what are called peer reviewers, that score your applications. And then we come in on the backside now and kind of help you get your application, your budget, and things like that together. So my name is Annette Scoggin. I'm one of the 21st Century team members, and I'm going to let it go around to our other team members. Alicia, would you like to introduce yourself?
Good morning, Cohort 17. So glad to see you this morning, bright and early on this Tuesday, crisp fall morning. I'm Alicia Alves. I'm excited to be able to work with you with 21st Century and answer any questions that you may have. I'm going into, I've completed, 3 years in federal programs, but this is my second year in 21st Century on this level. So I'm excited, and just let us know if you need any assistance.
Good morning, you all. I'm sorry that you're unable to see my beautiful face this morning. However, I am Dr. Rebecca Pines, and I'm with the 21st Century, and I've been here. I'm moving into my second year, and I'm really excited about getting you all on board and getting you ready through this process. So I'm here for. Oh, good morning. And I'm here to assist you in any way that I can. Hopefully the next time you'll be able to see my face. For those of you that already know me, you know who I am, but I hope to get to know the rest of you very soon.
Thank you. And as you can see, we have a very enthusiastic, energetic staff, and our whole purpose is to serve you. One of the things we have with the state is we have a contract with TPI, which is Auburn University. They do a lot of work for us and with us, and we're in this together to serve you all and make sure we stay compliant with the federal and state government. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Erica to talk a little bit about what they do for us and her staff. Erica?
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm Erica Rucker. I work with Truman Pierce Institute at Auburn University, War Eagle. And so we pretty much do the professional development and the technical assistance part and the assessment stuff of 21st Century for the state of Alabama. We kind of work as a middleman between the State Department and the grantees. So we're the person that, hey, if you have a question or you want to figure out who you need to contact, I probably know, or one of my staff knows. And we also are going to give you nudge emails from Linda Dean on a regular basis about Easy Report and other things that we want to make sure that you do smoothly so that we can report your data accurately to the federal government. So with TPI, we have my two Lindas, Linda Dean, who's not with us this morning, and Linda Williams, who's on today. And I have a graduate assistant who does STEM stuff, and she also helps us with all type of other things. Kirsten, she's the one who did the 3D printer stuff, if y'all were at ACA last year. And we just help however we can. So if you have any questions, we also maintain the 21st Century website that we'll talk about a little bit later, and the external evaluation pieces. Linda Williams, you want to say hey to everybody? I'm putting her on the spot.
And you have a wonderful boss.
Good morning.
And
Good morning.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, Annette. I'm Linda Williams. As Erica beautifully described my role with TPI, enjoyed being with you all this morning. Thank you. I'm sorry, Annette. I'm so sorry. Your hair looked different this morning. I got you.
And yes, and she described our wonderful boss. He literally is wonderful. He's a gem that we have. Dr. Jason Bryan, he's not with us today. He has just been awarded some Gear Up funds, so he is going Gear Up crazy right now. But he's great. He'll pop in and do PD and other things with us over the years also.
Excellent. So let's talk just a little bit about the email that went out yesterday, actually from the state, which is from my email address, that had some links in it that you need to make sure you go and copy and paste and put it into your browser and watch those videos. That's part of the requirement now before you can access your funds. The other thing is the email went out to whoever was listed in your application as the main contact person. So I know some of you run your programs and the email got to you a little bit later, maybe through Erica's Friday updates that we send out and she sends out, but that's how that email actually went out. Even if you've been a grantee, a sub-grantee for many, many years, it is a requirement to access your funds this year. You will need to watch those 3 videos and then attend what Alicia is going to talk about a little bit later. In the meantime, besides all the things you're going to do, getting your programming ready, hiring your staff, things like that, if you are a non-LEA, what we call a CBO, we need you to go in your EGAP application and upload what are called the additional documents. And you can look in the RFA where it tells you if you're awarded the grant, you will need to upload these things. And there's fire safety. There's a number of things. If you have questions, email any of our staff. We'll help walk you through it. But the best thing would be get your RFA out and look at what's called additional documents and open up EGAP. If you're an LEA, I encourage you to go back in, look at your application, print it off, get ready to go over that with your staff. Also look at your documents you uploaded and make sure that is going to be your flow chart, that is going to be the job descriptions. There's nothing you need to change. If there's something you need to change or adjust for whatever reason, please get in touch with us and we'll walk you through that process. Obviously, you won't have big changes because you were awarded under what you submitted. The next thing, we've had some questions about some of you have been running your program waiting on this grant anxiously, just like we have, and want to know, can I get funded for that? Unfortunately, no, the funds dropped as of yesterday, which means that's when you can start with your PARS reports and things like that. If you have a lot of questions, again, get in touch with any of us on that and we can walk you through that process. So at this time, Alicia Alves is our professional development guru and compliance guru. I'm going to turn it over to her and let her go over the requirements that are coming up for professional development. Alicia?
Okay, great. So if you were able to participate, see the email that comes out with Erica prior to this, with the announcement of Cohort 17, there was a document that went out, and I'm going to share it now. Can everyone see that? Okay, great. All right, so it's really, really important not to take this lightly. This is part of your requirement. This is part of your risk assessment at the end of the year to determine whether or not there were the appropriate personnel as it results as far as the required audience. So for today, this was a required participation for today, just to give you an overview and to congratulate you of your the award being, but I want you to pay attention to the 2 separate things that is in the column that says online information. For today, you should have registered on that link that's sitting there. And then the virtual link, when it's a virtual, it gives you access to be able to participate. And then you will see where it says topics, what things are going to be discussed. And then how is it related to your RFA, which is the application that you were approved to be able to receive the funds for Cohort 17, and then who was required. So if you can see, it says required audience was the program directors or the site coordinators, but we needed someone in a leadership position at each site that will be hosting a 21st Century grant to be in participation. If you notice, the next few presentations are going to be virtual due to the timing of the funds being released. So pay attention to making sure that you register, because that's how we make sure that you're in compliance with the grant. If you see for the next one, this is going to be a full day from 9 to 3 on December the 4th. We're going to take our time and make sure that you completely understand what is in your RFA. A lot of times, and not everyone, but a lot of times our program directors and site coordinators are not familiar with what is in the RFA. Someone else may have written your actual grant for you to get approved. But when you get into running the program, you find out that as you're doing the operations of it, you're not looking back to look at your why. And your why is your RFA. And it's also going to be how is an alignment with being compliant with the federal government. Okay. So it's really important that you register and that you have a virtual link. We will do breaks and we will do a lunchtime during that time, but we want you to go ahead and set aside time on December the 4th from 9 to 3. Also, please note that all of our trainings will be recorded as this one is being recorded now. So we will have a way to also link those individuals who are not here face to face, but who will actually be able to watch through the video to make sure that you get your credit to show that you did attend. And then there's a timeline, but more information will come out in regards to that. So if you can see, the required audience for the next one for December the 4th will be program director, site coordinators, or lead teachers. So this is dealing with the program itself, the operations of it, making sure you know the requirements of how things are supposed to flow, especially when it comes to compliance monitoring, because we want to go ahead and get you all thinking in alignment with your compliance monitoring. And then December 7th is an hour and a half. It's going to be over the financial planning. Please note, we want the program director to be there, the person that's handling your fiscal management, to be present as well, even if you are an LEA. And this is especially important for our CBOs, our community-based organizations, because there are certain codes, whereas our grant is going to be in alignment that may not be with what you usually do when you had your ARP ESSER funds, when you had your consolidated grant. And this is also to make sure that we stay within the guidelines of whatever caps are in place, as well as making sure that you are an alignment just because you want to purchase it. If it's not in alignment with your goals, if it's not in alignment with your grant, then you will not be able to purchase it. And so we'll talk about that and what reimbursement looks like. And then the last two ones are going to be December the 11th and December the 15th. Now, December 11th will be the last virtual one. And you can see who the key personnel that needs to be there. There's a registration link and a virtual link. But the last one on December 15th will be a pre-recording from us that you can view on your own. We recognize that this is getting close to your winter break, and we want to make sure that you have an opportunity to see it. But please make sure there will be a way for you to get credit, to make sure you watch the link at the end of watching the video, because this right here is the boots on the ground information when it comes to those major components of the grant, and making sure that the lesson planning and the student work samples are in alignment with compliance monitoring as it relates to what you have in your RFA. So those are some things that are coming up, and we just wanted to make sure that you are aware. And of course, there'll be some additional trainings. We're looking forward to this year doing some separate trainings or office hours for individuals who are CBOs separated from our LEAs, because we recognize that our CBOs have different needs than our LEAs. Our CBOs may not be as knowledgeable on some subject matter, and we want to make sure that we take our time and that we explain things in such a way that when you have to do a budget review, or when you want to expand your program, because that's the whole gist of this. We want you to expand and grow. We want you to be knowledgeable and to move in the right direction. So we look forward to all these presentations, but just know the next one will be December the 4th, and it is going to be an all day, and it's going to be very heavy, and hopefully we'll move through it as quickly as we can, but we do not want to take for granted that everybody understands this, and these are required if you are a cohort 17, even if you have had the grant before, because there are some changes in the RFA that we want to make sure we bring to your attention, and how we're going to be laying that out. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Alicia. Dr. Pines, would you like to tell us about the area you're going to share with everyone?
Okay, so on my particular section, we're going to talk about the TAs. Alicia has given you a lot of information about the professional development that you have to complete. So what we're going to do now is, how are you going to do that? I don't have any documents, but we have currently 2 TAs that are on staff, but with TPI being our partner, we're going to have some additional TAs that are going to come on board a little bit later. But what we need you to do now is know that those TAs are available to you. When you get this professional development, you have questions, you need some hands-on assistance with getting those documents and everything in order. Those are the persons that you will be reaching out to. Right now, we have Mr. Joe Dyer and Kim Hendon. They are both staff members of ours. And they will come out and they will do whatever it is that you need to do to get this program running smoothly. But Alicia and I, as well as Annette, we are still on board. So if you have any questions, any concerns, then you can also reach out to us and we'll be able to assist you as well. But what's most important is that you will get your TAs. Those of you that are already have grants for the cohort 16, we're going to make sure that you have the same TA for cohort 17 for those additional grants for this year as well. So just know that those people that are coming on that are new, we're going to talk with our TAs on Thursday, and you'll be getting your assigned TA. You'll get that information. We should have it for you by your next meeting on next week. So you'll know exactly who your TA person is. You'll have all of their contact information in addition to ours, so that we can make sure that this is a smooth process for you. So please, right now, if you have any questions, go on and start making yourself a list so that you can get those questions to myself, Alicia, Annette, and then once you receive your TA assignment to those persons, because they can come out and be there right by your side in order to get this process done. So if you have any questions, please reach out.
Thank you, Rebecca. At this time, Erica's going to go over some of the things they're doing and your to-do list basically from TPI that's coming up, and then I'll close out with our to-do list from the state. Erica?
All right, so I said I was professional development and technical assistance. One of the main things we do is Easy Report, and so want to make sure that we have our contact information, our emails correct. So when you register, just be mindful of that's the information that we're going to receive, that we're going to start making our listserv with. So when I'm asking you for your email, what is your position, and then who's your external evaluator, that's how we're going to figure that out. So hopefully throughout the course of the registration process for the trainings, we'll gather all of the at least administrative staff's email addresses and contact information, your external evaluators information, so that we can start making sure that we have our listserv correct. You can start receiving my emails and we can start getting your Easy Report up to date. So for grantees that are cohort 17 that were cohort 15, I know y'all are just eager to get back into Easy Report and start adding all of your information. So we are in the process of trying to add it. We have to be able to see your grant in eGap ourselves. So as soon as that opens up, we're going to try to turn it over and make sure that you are in Easy Report. So if you have started your program yesterday when the funds dropped, and you want to make sure that you're doing your attendance, do your attendance on paper for right now. Give us about a week, and I'll send an email out, or you're going to get an email when we get you loaded into Easy Report to make sure that you can go ahead and start loading at that point. But for at least this week, we're not gonna have it loaded. We just found out exactly when y'all found out yesterday, and we need the grants to be loaded into eGap for us to see, for us to get it loaded. But we are gonna work on that this week. Hopefully by next week we'll have it in. We want to at least work on our cohort 15 grantees first, because we know that y'all will be the first running. Our cohort 17 that are brand new will be working on adding y'all, but y'all just need to be in by January when you're supposed to be starting. The external evaluator is the next thing that we need to make sure that we get the information, contact information as soon as possible. External evaluators should be an external person, not within your organization. They shouldn't have helped you write the grant. Make sure to refer back to your RFA for the information and the verbiage exactly about that. So be mindful, and we will be checking. But we need to know who that person is so that we can go ahead and do our external evaluator training. We are looking at doing it before we do the Christmas break, because we know for cohort 15, they have some things that are due December 15th, and we will allow extensions because of how late the training is. But um, for cohort 17, you'll have an evaluation plan in February to go ahead. We can get them trained, get them kind of starts, and the new program start. They can go ahead and start your observations and get all of your things done. That's important. The other thing that we do is we maintain the Alabama 21st Century website. If you look on our website, and I'm not going to be able to pull it up right now because my internet's about to be unstable. But if you look on our website, if you look at the top right corner, there's like 3 slashes, and if you click on that, it'll be a down drop where it says grantee forms. This is where all of our forms are housed, and you can look on there. There's a search box where you can add, type in the word that you're looking for. Just be mindful that it is very sensitive. So if you are looking for field trips, make sure that you put field trip, not field trips, because sometimes you might just need to put in field and see if that pulls up. So just be mindful of the search that you're doing in there. I'm trying to correct the names as we go, but it's a lot of documents. There's also a link to our YouTube page on the website, just in case, you lose the links that Annette sent. All of our trainings that have been recorded are on our YouTube page. I try to make sure that they're labeled pretty concise for what they are, and they also are in playlists to let you know what it was. So if it's office hours, which some of the things are in the office hours, those are good tips and tricks that we've done, or not tricks, but things that are really handy for everyday operation of your grant. Then you have the trainings that we've done for the new grantee training. Those are in a playlist. So just make sure that you kind of peruse the YouTube page and check that out. Yes. So with your external evaluator, the first thing you're going to do with the external evaluator is create an MOU for them, which is basically going to be your contract. Because when you wrote the grant, you talked to them, you made sure, hey, do you want to do this? But now you have been awarded the grant, so an MOU needs to be in place, and we'll discuss that with the external evaluators also. But your MOU is your contract to talk about how much they're being paid. Be mindful of the percentage maximums that are in the RFA. Refer back to that. But make sure that you are only doing a 1-year contract, or you're adding something to your contract to say, if any party wants to, dissolve the contract within 30 days with 30-day notice. Just make sure you have not seen one of those final reports for that person. You want to make sure that you have the option to opt out after the first year if they do not produce the type of documentation that you would like, or if they are late on the deadlines or are missing some information or whatever. You want that report to make sure that it's representative of your organization. So just be mindful of that. And the MOU that you submit with your external evaluator, you'll also submit that you'll upload that into the document library for 21st Century. So And Alicia says there's an example in the related documents in ECAP. So. Annette, did I cover everything?
I think so. The only thing I want to touch base on is on the website, we have a ton of resources for you, from Y for Y to the foundation links to all kind of boost, all kind of conferences that come up that are specific to 21st century. So I encourage you to spend some time with your staff, with your people, and look through that to see, what can apply to you. Everything on there can be yours. You can change it with your logo on it, everything you need. So there's tons of information there and links to get you to more information so that you're successful and have what you need. There shouldn't be anything that you have to create from scratch, in my opinion. It's pretty much all there for you. So in saying that, let's talk about your next steps and your to-do list. First, if you are a CBO, you need to go meet with your LEA immediately and let them know you've been funded. How are we going to announce? How are we going to recruit teachers? How are we going to recruit our students, our community partners, and things like that? If you were a joint applicant, hopefully you're both on here today, but if not, you need to get together and start planning there. The other thing you want to do is your partners. They need to know, and your advisory board need to know that you were awarded the funds and your next steps. So please take time to check those things off your box. Erica alluded to a little bit earlier, I've had a lot of questions as, when do we get or have, hopefully it's get to start our program? You're good to go here. If you've have your staff ready, you've read your RFA. Again, it's not just hosting, after school playtime. It has to align, your activities have to align to your RFA. If you're good to go and you've been planning these past few months, then go for it and start and get busy and help those students in your community. If you're not quite there, that's okay. You have until the 1st of January when school starts back at your specific community to start your program. So that gives you about a month to get it all together, and hopefully you've been planning all along. So in saying that, we just want to again congratulate you, tell you how excited we are, and know that you're going to be very successful in making an impact in your community and with your students. So Alicia, Rebecca, any last words?
No, just let us know if you have any questions. And we're excited because we're about to expand our relationship and partnership with Truman Pearson Institute through Erica and Jason and Linda's. We're really excited about how we're going to be able to have more boots on the ground to help on that level and to provide as much training as needed to make sure that you're successful. So I'm just excited about what's going to be coming up here.
Dr. Pines? I know she's traveling, so she may not be available. Again, remember, your program starts as of yesterday, if you so desire. So you don't need anything previous. You can't request any funds previous to yesterday. And if you don't choose to start, you must start by the 1st of January when your community, your school starts back from Christmas break. So just a reminder on that little in-between time, we have a lot of questions as I've been having, I've been running my program. So what am I required to do now? That was your time. Now you've got to get back line with your RFA and everything that's required in that for reporting. So again, like Alicia said, we're very excited. We're here to serve you, and best of luck. Let us know if you need anything. Thank you.
There's a hand raised. Dr. Eva Kane. You're muted. I'm sorry.
There we go. Sorry, it wouldn't let me unmute. I just wanted to introduce myself really quickly. I am Dr. Eva Kane from Troy University, and we are the external evaluators, me and Dr. Dad, who is also on this meeting. I just want to say you'll probably get an email from me or Dr. Dad or Mike McCormick or Josh Southwick, and they will be asking you to complete surveys for us. We might ask for a site interview. So I just wanted to say hello and congratulations.
Thank you. Just to avoid confusion, they're our evaluators. So they evaluate the state, not what Erica was talking about, your evaluator. And we'll cover that in our professional development. Actually, when the surveys come out, what you need to do with the surveys and all those kind of things. So just don't get confused about that. But Troy is our external evaluator as far as the state, and we're excited they're here today and they're participating. So thank you very much, Eva. Anyone else? All right. Well, get your boots running and enjoy serving those communities and serving those students, and just know we're here to serve you. Thanks a lot and congratulations.